everyone, and welcome to Legends. Now, before we get into the reaction, I'm going to talk about this week's current Flash episode. If you're confused on why, I am no longer reacting to the Flash, and I did this thing before my Arrow reactions where I would talk about the current week's Flash episode, and since Arrow is no longer on the air, I thought I would carry that over to Legends. So if you aren't interested in hearing me talk about this current week's Flash episode, skip to this timestamp for my Legends reaction. Okay. Solid mid-season premiere, if I do say so myself. They set up a lot of different things because I was very curious to see where Flash was going to go because they didn't really set up a whole lot at the end of Crisis with Flash, so they kind of ramped it up this episode. The first 5 minutes felt very classic Flash, like season 1, season 2, the quick wit, the humor, the, ready-go-lucky Barry. Felt very classic Flash, which I really liked. A couple moments made me laugh out loud, one of them being Jitters, the new and improved Jitters getting immediately robbed. That was great, and the waitress just so over at this point is like, are you kidding? We just opened. and the robber realizing that they opened, meaning they don't have a lot of money at the current moment, which, beautiful. The new intro was really cool too, how they showed all the cast members. I can't quite remember, did they show Ralph in that? I mean, I assume they did because he's a series regular, but I don't remember seeing him. He wasn't in the episode, so I'm curious if I go back and watch that, if he'll be in it or not, or you might tell me in the comments, doesn't matter. We also had some updates on kind of this new timeline that we are going to slowly probably figure out as the season progresses. It seems that old villains are coming back, possibly. I'd like to see some old villains. I don't know anyone memorable, but that I can think right now that I would really, really like to see. I mean, I would like to see people like Zoom or, you know what I mean, like the big bigs, but I don't think we will, considering Zoom was from Earth 2 and Earth 2 is gone, along with Harry and Jesse, and it just sucks because I really liked Harry. I think Harry was my favorite character. I mean, Harrison Wells is my favorite character, but Harry was my favorite iteration, I think that's the right word, iteration of that, so it sucks to see him gone. I'd be very curious to see how they're going to move forward with Harrison Wells, considering, Nash is the only one here now, and I don't think there will be another because the multiverse is a little lacking at the moment. We also had Diggle come into this episode, which was such a nice thing to have. One being, Arrow's series finale was very emotional and very heartfelt and very cryy. So the fact that we had Diggle from that being able to come onto a more lighthearted note and talk about Oliver in a way that didn't make me totally cry was great, and all the scenes with Barry was great. All of Diggle's scenes with Barry in general are amazing, especially the fact that Diggle just can't wrap his mind around the speed thing. He just looks at it like, oh my god. And the running joke of him not being able to handle speed is great, and I love that they added it with this. And their visit to Lian Yu was interesting. Didn't think we would go back there this soon. Didn't think we'd see Diggle this soon, actually. And Marikuru being on the mask, Barry trying to think of something that it could possibly be, but really it was just leftover Marikuru from our fight with Slade back in season... Oh, when did that happen? 4? I think it was season 4, if I'm not mistaken, that we had that Slade fight with Thea, but I don't quote me on that. And then we had a weird moment when Barry was frustrated and he slammed his hand down on the metal bars, and it looked like the lightning just sparked out of his hand without him controlling it. Now the lightning, I couldn't really tell the color because I was just so taken aback on that happening. It wasn't red lightning, right? It was just orange lightning, like his regular lightning, because, well, his lightning is yellow and orange. So it was but I know it was just one color, I think. So I'm curious to see what that's about. It was a quick thing in Crisis where Spectre / Oliver touched Barry's head and said, you have your full potential now. I'm curious to see if that will carry over or if it was just like a little pep talk at the time. I'm wondering what that was all about. Mainly, this was an Iris episode. A lot of Iris this episode, a lot of interesting things set up. She was investigating the organization, or this dark organization called, black hole, black hole, which was very much like an Arrow organization. You know, a lot of Arrow's villains over the years, or a lot of things happen with crime organizations. It seemed like Flash was following in that footsteps a little bit, but Black Hole is it seems like they are employing people and taking down people, and just a conglomerate that is slowly growing up in the rankings. And Iris set an article up to take it down, and the main guy, who, you know, was fine, but he wasn't really fine because he was actually the head of it, and it's going to be a carried over thing, which is really cool because I like the fact that we're seeing Iris in her own, like doing more of her own thing, because mainly it's just revolved around the team. So I'm glad that she has essentially her own team with Allegra and Camilla. And I think probably Camilla will be sticking around. Cisco had a little, or is going to take, I'm assuming a couple episode leave of absence with that final goodbye-ish, because he handed over the reins to Nash, and that Nash and Cisco scene was really cool to see, because, you know, Nash obviously blames himself for everything that happened, but he is just trying to do right by it and trying to work on it. You know what I mean? He said that he remembers everything that happened with Pariah. You know, and he says, you know, I faced the consequences of that. But now it seems like he is just trying to blend in with the team, and possibly, you know, it's with that final picture. I think he had a picture with Allegra and him. So I'm assuming maybe daughter. That's the guess. I'm very curious to see what that storyline's going to entail. What else? Oh, the assassination attempt on Iris was very, like, whoa, interesting. Her getting hit with the thing. I thought that was going to be repercussions, like her getting hit, but it was actually, it just acted like it was like shrapnel. You know, and they did a really cool, you know, parallel to Barry and Iris's story this episode, because Barry was very much running, trying to figure out the next thing, while Iris is doing the exact same thing, just driving in headfirst, because everyone's still on crisis mode. Everyone is still running at the fullest speed, when now they can slow down. So I think we figured that out at the end of the episode. However, we had a, you know, after credit scene, and it was Iris going out by herself and not telling Barry where she's going, because of course. And she went and she saw, and like she had the whole Eva thing from the mirror, went into the room. And then I said, as she was standing right the mirror, like right in front of it, I was like, well, that mirror is either gonna like take her, she's gonna fall into it, or it's, you know, it's gonna go into it, and that happened. So I don't know what that's going to entail, if she's going to be missing, or if it's going to be a mirrored like personality, you know what I mean? If it's going to be a fake, like, I don't know if they'll just like do a bait and switch here, because mirrors are, you know, you're looking at yourself in the mirror. But if it's a person grabbing her, maybe another person will take her place. That sort of thing, because you know, you have yourself and then technically another person that you're looking at. So I'm curious to see what's going on with there and how long that will be a thing. And one quick note before I get into this Legends episode, Caitlin and her powers are always so fascinating to watch, because, you know, Barry, he's probably the most powerful metahuman ever at the current moment, especially at the current moment considering the crisis happened. But she's probably a close second. You know, she got hit with that gun, and we saw what it did to a person and people and walls and everything. It just spread and corrupted and got rid of. She was able to use her powers to stop it and isolate it and pull it out and keep it as like a physical thing. And the doctor who was after her seemed very fascinated by it, and even Caitlin seemed a little bit like, or Frost seemed a little bit like, whoa, you know? So I'd be curious to see, you know, if they were to dive into everything that Caitlin could do or Frost could do, because already that is something that's so extraordinary. And I don't even know, you know, say if Barry got hit with that gun, would he be able to deflect the effects of it? I don't know. You know, it seems like Frost can essentially heal from anything. really. So I'd be curious to see like if they were to dive more into her self and her powers as a concept for the next couple episodes, or however many episodes for the back half of the season. But anyway, let's get started with Legends of Tomorrow, Season 5, Episode 2.
Astra's lust for power had zapped the humanity out of her.
Well, on the bright side, at least the encores aren't our fault this time.
Is there any point in sending these encores to hell?
What the hell? Oh my god. New intros. Flash and Legends.
How you feeling? Great. I just need to get
Waiting to see.
clear my head. Right.
I'm waiting to see Zari.
Behavioral.
Hey guys, see here. So I'm at my parents'
Oh
house.
shit.
It's my dad's birthday. After all, family is everything. Big love to the Z Nation. Play that fish.
Oh no.
Yes, if I play by the end of the card file, we'll start cutting tonight. You two can set up Lamb in the bathroom for touch-ups. Hi.
She's a completely different person.
Thanks for subscribing. You know, it's the fans that really make all the hard work worth it.
All right, easy. You can put the gun down. We're here to help. Where's Webb?
We are the and more of Web and More.
You must be more.
Sure. That's me, Johnny Moore. Sarah is my secretary, and this fella here.
Has got a cop face.
Oh, thank you. Sergeant Palmer.
$1. Crazy. Whoa.
When I first moved here from Shaker Heights, I thought I was gonna be famous. And sure, I became famous.
I love the
Just
noir
not the right kind of famous.
type music in the background of these shots. They're a lot of fun.
Those are Mickey Cohen's boys. But after going through hell, I ain't afraid of nothing on this earth.
Holy crap. Nothing though, because... Whoa! Traveling smoky bullet thing?
Got the air totem method?
Why, yes, it is, Professor. How do you know about our family heirloom? Really? What did he tell you about the air totem?
I was so broken up when I found out it was stolen.
We keep the painting as a memento, even though it's lost.
Oh, well, yeah, she knows.
It's still here with us today, in this very room. I just can't get over the fact that nobody needs me to do anything. Wait. Nobody needs me to do anything.
You two still at the Blue Iguana?
Yes, Captain, just following orders.
They're probably a...
Need you and Ava to create a diversion,
Trump,
clear
though.
the place out. I'm gonna draw Bugsy back to the club so we can capture him.
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, shit, let's go.
It's awful. The worst thing I've seen in my life. And I was there when the Hindenburg went down.
Wait, is that she? Is she?
That's my girl.
That girl is poison. That girl is
You bring me all the way down here just so I can watch some no-name dame humiliate herself on stage?
First of all, she is not a no-name. That is my girlfriend. And second, she is not humiliating herself.
Yes, she is.
She's enjoying herself.
So this was just a lousy trick to get me down here. There's no dirt, is
so embarrassing.
Dragon Girl. Is this when you became famous?
Yeah, first agent when I was 11.
Oh shit! It's because of that video.
We met in another life.
Oh.
slip some, but it feels crazy good.
We're definitely connected somehow, but something feels off.
Sorry.
Well, aren't we a pair of jammy bastards? No, it's time to destroy it.
Forget the mattress. Step away from the briefcase.
Oh no.
Do you really expect me to give up this power after being so powerless my whole life?
You know what? You're right. Who am I to tell you what to do anyway?
See? It's working already.
We need to take care of the whole situation. What do you mean, take care of? You really are straight arrow, aren't you? Wait a second. You want to destroy the stash and Jeannie along with it?
Shit, Ray? Oh, shh. Shit.
You created a real monster. Astrologue. You know, it's funny that you mention it. I was just about to go and see it. Hey, Astra says you're banned. Is that so?
3, 4.
I came all the way down here to tell you. That I'm not giving up on you. And even if it takes me to the end of my days, I promise you that I will find a way.
You've gone soft.
Not that soft. This one's for Jeannie.
Bye-bye.
I'll be seeing you around, love.
That was spicy.
We'll figure out another way.
Ray knows.
Whatever really happened back there with Astra, I'm sure it wasn't easy. I had the chance to pull the trigger to end all this. I couldn't do it. Now, what's all y'all grinning about? Just happy there are still good guys out there.
Where's my invite to this party? I'll make you one.
It's better than that. Old prison habit.
I cannot believe that I was sitting in front of all those people.
That was amazing.
I was awesome. I killed it. Please tell me somebody got a video.
Actually, we did.
Tell me that's not you there in the star-spangled outfit. In fact, you were both there. That's totally you, Bearrod. Can't believe I never noticed it before. What I don't get is how Hayworld was 24 years ago, but you two haven't aged a day. What the hell is going on?
Zari, you finally lost it.
No, you're... Yep, there we go. Holy shit.
She's my sister.
Oh, no, no. Oh my gosh. No, oh no, 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 I don't want to see anything next time. Okay, so that was episode 2 of this season. We have Zari returning in such a... Oh my god, I had an eyelash on my... Really hope that wasn't just there. It was there the entire time, most likely. Anyway, so we had Zari return this episode, and she is something. It's interesting because Zari was my favorite character, I think, on Legends in general. I mean, Sarah Lance holds just such a big place in my heart in the grand scheme of Arrowverse. But Zari was my favorite, and it's so weird to see her playing completely opposite. If Zari, our old Zari, saw Zari there, she would have lost her damn mind. But it's interesting to see Well, it's interesting to see the actress play completely different. I bet she had a blast playing it and continuing to play it. I'm interested to kind of know or see where she goes throughout the season and her relationships with the team, because we knew Zari's relationships with the team, or old Zari's relationships with the team. You know, she had a very specific relationship with, I think, with everybody. So the fact that we're basically having a new character on board and her learning everything or relearning everything, like, I'm wondering if she'll ever get her memories back. I don't know if they will or not. I kind of hope she does. But I also don't, in a way. I just want to see what the new dynamic of the team and her will be. The mission of the week was a fun one. It wasn't as like, oh my god, as last week, but you know, it was a Legends of Tomorrow episode. The singing stuff with Ayla was really funny, and her just, you know, going from a position of great power running the Time Bureau to essentially being a part of the Legends team and sometimes being on the sidelines was a great, you know, it was a great thread to the story, and I'm glad that they highlighted that. The Constantine Astra stuff is very interesting, and their dynamic is interesting. You know, I don't doubt that Constantine will get Astra, you know, or will succeed in his goal. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't, or if Astra doesn't eventually, you know, go to a lighter side. I also want to see Nora again. We haven't seen her quite yet. You know, Zari was the main one. I was like, oh, you know, when are we going to see Zari? When are we going to see this new version of Zari? We had that this episode. Now I'm curious to see where Nora's at, and hopefully we'll get her within the next couple episodes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Constantine, Astra, Sarah, Ava, Nate, with that whole thing, oh my gosh, I don't see the two of them being anything really, I don't think, but you know, who knows. Yeah, I think that's everything for this episode. If I'm missing anything, I'll make sure to add a little comment or whatever, but thank you all for watching, and if you, oh my god, I almost just did my old outro, the one that, if you've been following me for a while, know what it is. I think it's just, at this point, it's kind of like a staple for me to do the whole, like, oh, I don't know what my whole outro is, because that's what it's turned into. Like, I don't know what my whole outro is. I mean, I know what my old that's the thing, that was my old outro. My new outro is just this. It's just a whole bunch of that.